This podcast is Real Nito. In this segment, we'll investigate how role-playing influences some of the ways its players present themselves as they navigate social interactions inside and outside of the game Dungeons & Dragons.
It really opens up this other side of yourself that you wouldn't get to explore, and you get to really see, where does my moral compass lead if given a sandbox of tools to play with. That's just, it's amazing.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Praise the Roll.
Woo! Sorry. I didn't catch your name.
Yes! What's your name?
They call me Ruddy. Ready? Ruddy. Ready what? No, Ruddy. Like, Ruddy.
To get a better understanding of what role-playing is, it's helpful to start with tabletop gaming in general. You can imagine playing Monopoly around the table with your family. This is different from video gaming in that there are no computer screens involved. Without walls between players, human interaction around the table becomes both intimate and immediate. The role-playing that we'll investigate is generated through Dungeons & Dragons, a cooperative exercise in creativity, imagination, and storytelling. The Dungeon Master, or DM, is the facilitator of this tabletop gaming experience. The DM's role is to weave their pre-planned scenarios in and around the actions taken by characters. And be sure to remember that the player is the human playing the game, rolling the dice, while their character is their imagined figure. It's the Dungeon Master's responsibility to make sure that there's a world for these fantasy characters to exist within, and to ensure that this imagined world is accessible and responsive to the players around the table. Let's meet a couple of those players and find out what has them coming back to roleplay every week.
My name is Louis DeBellis. I'm from Dobbs Ferry, New York. In the game, I was Adam Warmbreeze initially. He often did good things for good reasons, but that character has recently died, so I'm now working on a new character. I've put myself into bad situations. I would still run in and try to heal someone just because I feel like that's what my character would do. But you know, you can die sometimes, and that happens.
Hello, my name is Jordan Grappel. I play in D&D, I play Finbic Shinegear, our group's gnome bard. My role in the party is basically, I'm kind of the goofball. My character tends to be the person who tries to talk to the NPCs.
That stands for non-player character, which are all left in the Dungeon Master's control. Jordan continues describing Finbic.
He's got this unpredictable ridiculousness to him that I really enjoy. I enjoy playing this character because he's creative and doesn't really take things too seriously, which is something I kind of try to channel in real life.
I envision what I want for a session.
That's Adam, the Dungeon Master.
So a session is 4 to 5 hour chunk, sometimes longer, and I'll think, well, I want maybe a fight or two, and then I'll decide what I want the fights to be. I'll have some characters prepared that I want the party to talk to, and I'll have a general sense of how to go from point A to point B to point C, right? But what brings me to the table every week is everyone does things completely out of what I expect. There have been kidnappings, there's a murder mystery going on in our campaign right now. There's so many aspects that I can never prepare for as the Dungeon Master that I just really love, and it's all about improv. And to make stories with my friends on the spot is a lot of fun.
I asked Adam to describe what role-playing means to him.
You get to play someone that has abilities only that your imagination could contain. I would just sit back at times and let everyone talk amongst themselves, because ultimately I am the Dungeon Master for their enjoyment, not for my own. And it was really interesting watching everyone talk about what it means to roleplay, what information their character knows versus their own person.
I wanted to know more about how the players Louis and Jordan reflected on their time role-playing, and if they connected what they did in-game to their everyday lives.
In D&D, it's very important to not talk over people. which is a good thing just to do in regular day life, but it really emphasizes that fact, because if everyone's talking over each other, you have no idea what's going on. Let everyone speak, have their moment, and then the next person can respond to that or have whatever they need to do. It's just a good way to treat people. In D&D, you have to make very clear and decisive actions with everything that you do. So when you're in actual life, like, you realize every action you do is there's a consequence to each action, and it makes you very aware of each action that you're taking.
I'm the kind of person in real life who values honesty above anything else, who never likes lying and gets very upset when others lie to me. And so I thought it'd be cool with this character whose whole thing is he's got really high charisma, and he can I kind of made this a character who lies a lot and really enjoys lying and trying to convince people of these ridiculous, outlandish lies, which is really fun and interesting because in real life, I pretty much never lie, so it's kind of an outlet to just like be like, oh, it'll be fun to be a little bit more mischievous with this one. It's a good way to learn how to interact with people, how people will respond to certain things, and it can just be really fun to experiment in that way. And ultimately, it's just a really good way to create these characters and just goof around with your friends and make these really weird situations just by playing off of each other's ridiculous characters.
I can say fairly definitively, every single person has come to their own. Pierre made a humanoid robot, and this humanoid robot didn't have very much emotion, nor was it something super relatable to Pierre. And it was really evident to me in those first couple sessions he was grappling with how does he roleplay something that is just so different from who he is. And it was through the interaction with his fellow players that he was really able to come into his own, and now he's playing this robot without emotions, but this robot, DV, is trying to emulate the people around her. And it's not an overnight change, it's been a gradual change, and the party has noticed that. And it makes for a really immersive world when everyone is getting more and more able to play the character.
A brief look into the world of Dungeons & Dragons, a creative platform upon which players can take the risks they may ordinarily shy away from, all the while completing these actions in a judgment-free zone. It's a tabletop game that instructs through experimentation, offering a loose structure of rules around which epic tales of victory and failure are crafted by player and dungeon master alike. Who would you want to become, if even just for a few hours? What from your daily life would you bring to the table? Imagine what you could take away. We think role-playing is real, Nito, and we are too.